Okay.
Exam prep for paper 2. Learners are writing tomorrow. It's about the two broad topics. We know them. It's business ventures and business roles. And then I would just like to remind the learners also that you go to your exam guideline, you make sure which topics, subtopics are included under business ventures and under business roles for tomorrow's paper. There are quite a number of subtopics. And then also consult your exam guideline to see under the subtopic, for example, presentations. What should the learner know? What should I, as the learner, know? There's the last column in the exam guideline that say what learners should know. Make sure that you'll be able to answer all those bullets which are there in the exam guideline. Because we don't know, we haven't seen the paper. Myself, I haven't seen the paper. So what I'm going to address today, it's not to say you must be careful that it is there in the paper. It's just things that I'm going to highlight, some content, but yeah, I also don't know what was asked for tomorrow's paper. Okay, sir, if you can move the page, please.
Okay. Is it moving on your side?
Yes. Another page, please. Yes. Okay. Just move again, please.
Okay.
And more.
Okay.
You can stop. Oh, just go back a little. It's so difficult if I can't control it. Okay. You'll see the heading there. It's investment securities. So the first topic that I want us to look at in this document, this is like a revision document, is investment securities. Yes, it's about investments, not this time about insurance. It's about investments. Okay, so there are some shorter questions there that we can maybe look at and see whether we can find these answers about investment. The first one, 1.1.1, the investors prefer investments in which the return on investment is higher than the, who can tell me what is the answer here? Return on investment is higher than the?
Inflation rate.
Good, thank you. Good, thanks. The second one, 1.1.2, the speed at which an investment may be converted into cash is known as? What will be the answer there from the box?
Liquidity.
Liquidity, yes, exactly, thank you. 1.1.3, what serves as a barometer of the economic conditions of South Africa?
Security exchange.
Yeah, I heard somebody say JSE. That's correct. Yeah. But remember now the learner should write it down as it is in the box. Learners, remember, you should write Johannesburg Security Exchange like it was given in the box. Who is that? D. Please mute yourself. Okay, please, people, let us not struggle. We've only started. You'll get one warning. You had your first warning now, ma'am. Second time, then we're going to remove you from the meeting. Okay. 1.1.4. The investment in preference shares is has a lower link to it, as investors will only have access to the company's assets when it is declared bankrupt. A lower What is the answer there?
Return on investment.
A lower
Yes.
return on investment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
good. The last one, 115. Investors must consider the payable to government when deciding on a particular investment. Tax that will be payable on to government. Yes, whenever an investment is made, there will also be tax that needs to be paid from that investment. Okay, this was just done as an icebreaker for us to just get into the mode. Okay, I've seen a hand. The hand is gone. Okay, let's move up a little bit again, Mr. Mui, please.
Is it okay there, or should I move?
You must move, please.
Okay. You will stop.
Thank you.
now?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, then there are some. Yeah, there's another question here now. It's also on investments. It's again the type of Section A question. No, you mustn't move now, sir.
Okay.
Go back, please. Back. Go back, please.
Okay. I am now back to where we were.
No, go up.
Okay.
But the second part of that page.
Okay.
Yes, stop.
Okay. All right.
No. No, sir, you are moving still.
Really?
Yes. Please go back again.
Okay.
The bottom part of page 6.
The bottom part of page 6.
Page 5. Yes, page 5. Okay, thank you. We are there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this again is a Section A question where we have to complete the sentence by filling in the missing words from the text box. Okay, let's see if we can quickly deal with this. The investor of will not receive payment for the past dividends that were not paid out due to poor finances. What kind of investment is that? The investor will not
Non-cumulative preference shares.
non-cumulated preference shares. Yes, correct. Non-cumulated. He will not receive payments of past dividends that were not paid. Okay. The next one, 1.2.2, it is easy to cash in on when an investor needs money. Which kind of investment is that, to cash in easily?
Bonus shares.
When an investor needs money. Bonus shares.
Unit trust.
KN, are you also answering there?
Unit trust.
Unit trust. Unit trust. Somebody said unit trust. Another person said bonus shares. Can we hear from somebody else as well? T.
Unit trust, ma'am.
Unit trust. Okay, good. That settles that one. Okay, 1.2.3, making monthly payments to an insurance company with the expectancy of receiving a predetermined amount on a date in the future is called, what could be the answer there?
Premium.
A fixed deposit.
Making,
Retirement annuity.
making a monthly payment to an insurance company with the
Fixed deposit.
expectancy of receiving a predetermined amount on a date in the future. Okay, I can understand why you want to say fixed deposit, but that first part of the sentence is very important. The payment is made to an insurance company. So a fixed deposit is not a payment to an insurance.
Retirement annuity.
Annuity.
Yes, okay. Because of that first part, retirement annuity. 1.2.4, the instrument which allow companies to borrow money from the public. This one is easy. Which one?
Debentures.
Debentures, yes. When money is borrowed from the public, then the company will issue a debenture. Who is there?
Is it compound interest?
Oh, goodness, wait a bit. I've tried to mute this person and now I went out. Okay, I'm back now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am.
sorry about that. I tried to go out. I wanted to mute some people, but then it took me out. Okay, then the last one here. Interest is calculated on the original amount and the interest earned in the preceding years. What kind of
Compound interest.
compound interest? Yeah, we get simple interest and we get compound. This is compound because it's calculated on the original amount with the interest earned in years following, preceding years. Good. Okay, Mr. Mui, can we move?
All right.
To page 6.
Okay. We are on page 6 right now.
Okay. That's fine. Oh, you're going further.
Really?
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes.
All right.
Discuss the functions of the JSE. We know there are so many functions of the JSE. And because of discuss, it is now part marking. So the learner must come, you as learners must come with a statement as well as a supporting statement. There's only 4 of them mentioned here. There are many others. But the 4 mentioned here serves as a barometer / indicator. That / means the alternative word. It can either be barometer or indicator of economic conditions in South Africa. Bullet 2, it keeps the investors informed about share prices. 1 tick, by publishing the share prices daily. It acts as a link. That is the statement, and the supporting statement is between investors and the public companies. Shares are valued and assessed. One tick there. How are they assessed and valued? By experts. Okay, then let's look at this block. Remember, the functions of the JSE, rising primary capital by encouraging new investment possibilities. It's regarded as one fact for 2 marks. That was highlighted in the diagnostic report. In the past, you will remember it was only marks were given, full marks were given for rises primary capital. But that fact has been, has been developed further to be valued 2 marks by encouraging new investment possibilities. Okay, write the full function of the JSE in full sentences to obtain 2 marks for each fact. Okay, just move up a little bit, sir.
All right.
So that we go to 2.2 on the same page.
Are we there now?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, yes, it's fine.
All right.
Identify the type of business investment opportunity that were used by CT Plumbers. Just stop there, thank you. In each statement below. Okay, there are 2 statements there. Let's look at the first one, 2.2.1. CT Plumbers invested 50,000 Rand for 6 months at 12% interest with a financial institution. What would be the type of investment opportunity here? PM, who's PM? Mute, please. Who can come up with an answer here? The type of business investment opportunity where CT Plumbers invested 50,000 for 6 months. So the number period was indicated at 12% interest with the financial institution.
Isn't it simple interest then?
The investment opportunity.
Oh.
It's fixed deposit.
Fixed deposit, yes. I can understand, sir, why you thought it's simple interest, because if we look at it that way, it is, if we want to say what was the return on investment method that was used, then the answer would be simple interest. But now they wanted the business investment opportunity, and that is a fixed deposit. Good. The next question, CT Plumbers received dividends for the portion of ownership in Blue Range Ltd. They received dividends for their portion of ownership. I can't hear, sorry, repeat.
Type of investment is shares, ma'am.
Shares, yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's look at this block here. Remember, do not confuse types of investment opportunities with the forms of investments. Not everybody may have an opportunity to invest, but they must have access to some form of investment. Okay, Mr. Mui, let's move to the next page.
Okay. You will tell me if I'm there?
Yeah, not yet. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. discuss the following factors that should be considered when making investment decisions. We've got liquidity. The first one, the second one is return on investment. And the third one is the period of the investment. Let's just look at this block that we have here. Remember, investment decision factors must be linked to the decision to invest. Research examples of types of investment opportunities and forms of investments that are relevant to each investment decision. Do not confuse the meaning of liquidity with liquidation. We know liquidation is a business strategy. That was there in paper 1. Okay. Do not confuse the meaning return on investment with investment period. Okay. Move up a little so that we can see these answers, sir.
Okay. I've just moved. Are we there?
Yeah. Let's look at them quickly. Liquidity is the amount that could be invested in a type of investment that can easily be converted into cash. It is used to describe the ease and the speed in which or with which investors can convert an investment into cash. So if it's impossible for investment that can be easily converted into cash, we call that liquidity. Return on investment refers to the income from the investment. And we already mentioned that we will have simple interest or we will have compound interest. Okay, namely interest or dividend or increase in capital growth on the original amount invested. Okay, the higher the investment, the higher returns it yields. Period of investment, okay, refers to the duration. If we see that word period, it refers to the duration, a number of years or a number of months, which may influence the return on investment. The longer the investment period, the higher the returns. Good. These are just some concepts that we need to know. And these are also factors that will help the business to make the correct investment decisions. We can move, sir. We can move, sir. We can move, sir.
Hello.
I've moved. Is it okay there?
Yeah. Thank you. Evaluate the impact of the following forms of investment. So if we see the word impact, then you as the learner must refer to positives as well as negatives, or advantages and or disadvantages. So now you need to come up with the impact of fixed deposit, of RSA retail savings bond, of unit trusts. So before we look at those impacts of these 3 investment opportunities, let's just see again what is in the box. Do not confuse fixed deposits.
Hello.
Do not confuse fixed deposits with either RSA retail savings bonds or unit trusts. When distinguishing between the RSA retail savings bonds and unit trust, focus on the minimum amounts required to invest. And here's an example given of originality. If there's an essay about this investment opportunities, there's an example here. Especially for the retail savings bond that can be used in the essay as originality. So let's just look at this one quickly. National Treasury. has launched the RSA Retail Savings Bond Top Up. The top up means it allows individuals to invest as little as 500. It will cost 500 to open the account, but after that, the retail investors can top up their investment with 100 Rand at any time. So that top up to the retail savings bond can be used as originality. M&M and N, do you want an opportunity to make an input?
Mixo zombie. Oh, yes, it is.
Van Lenzela Rat.
Okay, Mr. Mooi, you can move up for us a little, please, so that we can look at the impact of these 3 investment opportunities.
Okay, I've just moved.
Just moved.
Thank you for now. Oh, my goodness. MB, people please, really. We are all teachers here. We've also got learners here. Let's be respectful and let us mute the mics. As simple as that. You mute your mic. If you want to make an input, you raise your hands and then you'll be given an opportunity and then only you unmute, please. Okay, let's look here at fixed deposits. Impact means there will be positives or negatives, advantages or disadvantages. There's only 2 mentioned under these different forms of investment opportunities. The positive for fixed deposit is the period of the investment can be short, medium, or long term. There must be a period of time given, number of years or number of months. Another positive is the investor can choose the investor period that suits them. Negatives, the investor cannot withdraw their funds before the maturity date. In other words, if the investor decided on a 2-year fixed deposit, the money cannot be withdrawn before 2 years. I can see the same culprits every time. Okay.
And you want to study.
Another negative may not outperform the effect of inflation over a long period. Good. Retail savings bonds, the positives, the negatives. Guaranteed returns, that is a positive of the retail savings bond, as interest rate is fixed for the whole investment period. And another positive is the interest can be received twice a year. The negatives are that the investments need to have a valid South African identification, which may discourage foreigners to invest. MB, who is MB? Okay. Another negative is that a minimum of 1,000 Rand must be invested, which may be difficult for some small investors to accumulate. But the next sentence underneath there, you'll see there was an amendment here where the National Treasury has launched RSA Savings Bond Top Up. We have seen that previously on the previous slide, allowing individuals to invest as little as 500 Rand. I don't know who's muting me. Somebody's muting me. Let's continue to the next page, sir. Okay, then we come to distinguish between simple interest and compound interest. I've already mentioned before that return on investment can be calculated using either the simple interest method or the compound interest method. Okay, so simple interest means that interest is earned on the original amount. We can also talk about the prime amount and not on the interest occurred. That means not on the interest earned for years after that. It's always earned on the original amount. Compound interest is earned on the original amount invested as well as interest earned in previous periods. That means if it's for 3-year periods, then interest will be calculated for the first year, and then the interest for the first year will be added to the prime original amount to calculate the interest for the second year. The interest for the second year will be added again to the original amount to calculate the interest for the third year, and then the 3 years interest will be added together. There are examples. We'll be coming to those examples further on. I think I missed the unit trust. So let us just at the same page quickly look at the impact of the unit trust. The positive is that it's managed by a fund manager, a specialist who buys shares from the JSE. Okay, and another advantage is it's easy to cash in when the investor needs money. We saw this one there when we were doing those questions to say which investment opportunity can easily be turned into cash. It's a unit trust. Negatives or disadvantages, not good for people who want to invest for a short period, and also not good for people who want to avoid risks at all time. So it means that for a unit period, if you want to invest in a unit trust, you'll have to make a longer investment, and also you must know that there will be risks involved in the unit trust. Mr. Muye, move a little bit up so that we look at those examples of simple interest and compound. Yeah, up to there.
Okay.
Thank you. So we're quickly going to look at these examples. Let me read that scenario for you. Zinzi inherited 100,000 Rand and wanted to invest. Okay, let me start again. Who's M and M? I just wish I can really, this is Mr. Mui, M&M, it's not him. Okay. Let me start again. Zinzi inherited 100,000 rands and wants to invest it in a fixed deposit for 3 years. CAPSA Bank offered 8% simple interest per annum, and Fed Bank offered 8% compound interest per annum. Now let's look at the two calculations. First, we're going to look at the calculation of CAPSA Bank. And if we refer back to the scenario, it was, they offered 8% simple interest. So the calculation we see here is for simple interest. So how do we calculate the simple interest for the 3 years? Let's look at the formula. The capital P is for prime amount or original amount. Multiply by R. R is the rate of interest. Multiplied by T, which is the time period. Okay, so it's 100,000 rand. That is the prime amount. Multiply by 0.08. That is 8%. You can also write it as 8 over 100. 8% can also be written as 8 over 100, or it can be indicated as 0.08. Multiply by 3. 3 are the years of this investment. Okay, then it's 8,000 multiplied by 3, and that will give us 24,000 simple interest. Okay, let's move to the next calculation of compound interest. Thank you. So here we have exactly the same information. Exactly the same information, but now we are going to calculate compound interest. So if we look, compound, if we remember, we looked at the definitions of simple and compound. Compound is when we calculate interest earned and it accrues over the time period. So we'll have to add the interest every year. That's what you see here. The best way or the easiest way to calculate this is we work out interest for year 1, compound interest, and then we work out compound interest for year 2. And then we work out compound interest for year 3. We add it together to get the total interest. Now let's look at year 1. The prime amount or the original amount was 100,000. The interest rate is 0.08. That is 8%. Or like I mentioned before, you can write 8 over 100. Multiply by 1. It's for 1 year. And that gives us 8,000. Now, year 2, we will take the 100,000, the original amount. We add interest of year 1, 8,000. So now we work with 108,000. Times the interest of 8% times 1. That gives us 8,640. Then now we're going to do the calculation of year 3. We take 108,000. We add 8,640. That gives us 116,640. Multiply, there's a mistake here. Multiply by 0.08 again. That 0.01 is wrong. Multiply by 1, and the interest for year 3, the compound interest for year 3 is 9,331.20. Can you see that the interest, compound interest earned in year 1, year 2, year 3 has grown, has accrued, we called it accrued every year. It became more. Okay, now we add it together. Year 1, 8,000 plus year 2, 8,460 plus year 3, 9,331.20. And that gives us compound interest for the 3 years of 25,971. If we can remember, when we done the simple interest, the simple interest calculated for the 3 years were 24,000. But now if we look at the compound interest with the same amount, the same interest rate, the same period of time, it gives us 25,971.20. So more interest is earned on the compound method of return on investment. Good. Okay, there's an essay type question, Mr. Mui, if you can move for us, please.
Yeah, sorry to disturb you, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am,
sir.
May I ask if, like, is it possible for us to use the formula of P equals to, you know, the math formula, ma'am?
Yeah, that one that says capital P, that's the prime amount, multiply,
Yes.
and then in brackets, it's the interest rate plus 1.
Yeah,
1 plus the interest
to the
rate,
power of-
close the brackets to the number of years in that one. You're talking about that one, eh?
Yes, I'm talking about that one.
Yeah, you can also use that. Learners can also use that if they are used to it, if they are doing it in other subjects, like maybe maths or maths lit, or even maybe accounting. There's no problem. That can also be
Okay,
used.
thank you,
I just focused on this one now because this one is a little bit easier. Okay, but no problem. Okay,
Thank
let
you,
us
ma'am.
see. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, Leslie, can I just add something there?
Please, sir.
Yes, maybe to say to teachers and of course also learners that they must encourage their learners to show all the calculations, because
Yes.
when they show calculations, they stand to benefit, you know, even if, for example, the final answer is not correct, but they may still get 1 or 2 marks, unlike if they go straight to the answer and the answer is incorrect. So encourage your learners to show calculations, to show all the steps that they have followed, because sometimes they are quick to just take a calculator and just go straight to the answer. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Hello, listen. Hi, it's Sharon speaking. Can I say something?
Yes, you
Yes.
can.
Yes, I just want to answer that learner who wants to use the formula, that they must be aware that mainly when we calculate, we are calculating the interest. Because if you use the formula, the balance that you're going to get is interest together with the principal amount that has been invested. So they must just be aware that after using the formula, they must deduct the principal amount from the total that they got, so they can be left only with the interest accumulated over time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for that,
Thank you for
Sharon.
the
That
matter,
is true. And furthermore, I
Uh,
just wanted to say also, I'll give you opportunity just now. I just wanted to say that always write also, Sir said you must show all the calculations, also show the formula. Because even for the formula, you can get marks, even if your final amount is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody
so-
else? Mr. Mui, you wanted to say?
Yes, I wanted to just stress what Sharon has just touched on there, to say, you know, learners must actually read and clearly understand the question, because sometimes the question instructs them to calculate the interest. Sometimes the question instructs them to calculate the, you know, the ultimate amount of investment that the investor will get. So they must read the question and know exactly what
Mr. Mui, I think you are muted. Are you still talking?
Okay, yes, I was talking. Sorry. It's only
Okay.
now that I realize I'm muted. I was saying I just wanted to stress what Sharon has touched on. And my emphasis is on learners clearly reading what the question actually instructs them to do. For example, a question may instruct them to calculate only the interest. Sometimes the question may instruct them to calculate the amount the investor will get at the end of the period of investment. So they must clearly read the question in full and know exactly what is required of them on the question, so that they are spot on as to what the question requires of them. Because sometimes the question wants them to calculate the interest, and then they end up not giving the interest, but rather give the amount inclusive of the interest that was not actually asked for in the question. So reading the question clearly to find out what it requires of them is very important. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Yes, agreed, sir. Thank you for that input. Okay, so I'm just going to go quickly. Here's just an example of an essay. We've touched on all these bullets here. So it's just an example of essay. We have the preamble. I'm not going to spend time on that now. And there's the example of the essay. The bullets are there. I just want to mention with bullet 1, outline the functions of the JSE. Outline in section C wants a full response. In section B, outline, we are considering the essence. But in section C, outline, we want the full response. Please remember that. And then there's a distinction between simple and compound interest. We talked about it just now. And evaluate the impact. We have also looked at that. We need to show positives and negatives. And the last one here, advise investors on the rights of ordinary shareholders. This one is one that we haven't yet touched on, but we see the cognitive verb there says advice. So this is our higher order question in this essay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mui. Can we move?
Right.
I think we are now done with investments. So we quickly want to look at under business roles and at the presentations.
Okay.
Okay, let's just look at this part. How do you beat? No, just go back.
Okay.
This is applicable for all essays. Important for learning to know. Yes?
Yes, before you continue, we have a question here.
Okay, you're welcome.
So if it happens that they ask us that how do we calculate the return on investment and how do we balance risk and potential return, how am I going to approach the question?
How to balance risk and?
Pardon?
How to balance risk and potential return.
And potential risk, how do we balance risk and potential risk?
Where did you get that question
Potential
from?
return, I mean to say.
Sorry, Miss.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Miss?
I'm still busy answering her, or are you on the same question? PM, I wanted to know, where did you get that last part of the question? How to balance, were you saying risk and potential
return?
Return.
And how do we calculate the return on investment?
Return on investment, I've just shown you now. You either use the simple interest calculation or you use the compound interest calculation. It will be clear from the question. But this second part of the question, I don't know where you get that from, girl. I've never seen.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
That in the exam guideline. Remember, you must always look at the exam guideline. Hey. Okay, and then T. We have T, the guy that was just putting up his hand. I still see your hand. Do you want to ask a question still? Yes.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes.
Questions about what ma'am talking, so we would like ma'am to translate it in Afrikaans, please.
You must translate it. Me. What do you want me to translate?
Power station, please, ma'am.
I can't hear you. What do you want me to translate? Okay, please mute your mic, please. Okay, let's continue. I couldn't hear what he wants me to translate. Maybe you should just ask your teacher later on, because I'm going to send this document also to your teachers so that they can also share it with you. And then maybe you can ask your teacher to help you with the translation thereof. Okay, let's look at how to beat essay questions quickly. We don't have much time left. Let's quickly look at this, please. You must start and always write the word introduction. And you must always close off with the word conclusion, with an opening statement and a closing statement. So then you're going to go to the 4 bullets that you find in the question paper. Those 4 bullets will become the 4 headings. And underneath these headings, you put 3 or 4 facts. You don't need to put 10 facts there, people. Put 3 or 4 facts. Remember, we talk about we work smart. That means, for example, with the JSE functions, there are 10 or more functions. But if you put it in the essay, you're not going to write 10 or more functions. You might write 5 or 4 functions to be able to get the marks that you need for.
Or 3.
Don't understand how I get muted all the time.
And me too, either.
God, there's somebody here that mutes us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. Let's move the page, sir.
Okay. You will tell me where to stop.
Okay, move still to the next page. Just a little bit up. Okay. Yes, stop here. Thank you. I'm not, okay. No, go down a little bit. Go down. Down still.
Okay.
Still go down, please.
Okay.
You're going up, sir.
I'm going up. Okay.
Go back to, just go back where we started, please. Page 13, still go back. To page 12, please.
Okay.
No, we are not there.
I'm now going back to page 13.
Page 12, please.
Okay. This is page 12.
This is page 11 that we see. Yes, stop there. Stop there.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm not going to read through this. We don't have much time left. I just want to explain quickly that when it comes to presentation, what you should know, it's written in here, but I'm not going to read through of it, is factors to consider before the presentation. That is the planning phase. And then also factors to consider during the presentation while you are presenting. And then factors to consider after the presentation. That is the feedback session, where you answer questions, the presenter answer questions in a non-aggressive manner, professional non-aggressive manner. And then also, after this process has been completed, there is areas of improvement for the next presentation. How and what needs to be done to improve the next presentation. Okay, let's move, sir. I don't have time to read through all of that. I am going to share.
I have moved, Lisa.
Okay, it's good if you study and you make yourself
Sorry, Miss.
mind maps.
Sorry, Miss.
Yes.
Sorry, Miss. Miss, we don't understand so well in. We don't understand so well in English. Some of our schools are doing it in Afrikaans. You see, now we have learners in the class that doesn't understand.
Oh, I'm sorry, but the presentation unfortunately is in English. I can't do it in both English and Afrikaans. I will send this, try to find the Afrikaans version of this notes and also share it so your teacher can give it to you in Afrikaans. Okay.
Thanks for wasting our time.
Huh?
One day.
What did you say? Thanks for wasting your time. No, okay.
But thank you for wasting your time. And you movie that's fine. Yeah.
Isabel, we need to study.
Okay, it seems like seems like they are no longer interested, Mr. Mui.
Yeah,
They want to study.
Even time is almost.
Yes.
We have run out of time now. Maybe you can wrap up.
Okay, just move through the slides. I'm not going to. I just want to show, and then I will share the document.
Okay, you tell me.
Okay, go down, sir.
Yeah. You will tell me then the page number.
Yeah, scroll through. There's these activities that they can do on their own.
Okay.
The answers are also there, and you can move. All of this is still on the data response and presentation. You can still move.
Yeah, I'm on forms of ownership now.
Yeah. So here are forms of ownership. If you go up one page.
Okay.
Page 16, page 15.
Okay, 15.
Okay, just keep it there. Oh, don't worry.
So, okay.
They are different. Scroll through it.
Please.
There are different forms of ownerships, and there on these pages, it summarizes them very nicely. If you go down again, sir.
Okay.
There's the sole trader,
nicely
summarized. And then we have, you can go down. We have all the forms of ownership very nicely summarized on one page.
Question 6, please. Summarize question 6, please.
Partnerships. Okay, you can go down throughout. The rest of this document is the different forms of ownerships.
Okay.
what learners need to know. It's the characteristics, it is the different elements, it is the success and the failure of all those forms of ownerships, nicely summarized on one page, which I think can really make it much easier for learners to study. And there's another essay type question on forms of ownerships. If you move to the next page, I think that will be the last page.
That is the last page, Leza.
Yeah, okay. So this brings us to the end. Like I said, I will share the document. Yes, there's some tips here also for how to answer the essay type question, which can be important to you as well. But I assume you are grade 12 learners almost sitting for the final exam, for the trial and the final. So I'm sure that by now you should know how to do a proper essay type question. From my side, I want to say good luck for the exam.